Hey, good day to you. Hey, this is Stan Perchowski with the Perchowski Estate Law, and this is the Ask Stan Show every Thursday at 12 noon, June the 18th, where you can ask me questions. Let me just ask and see if everybody can hear me okay. Facebook changed its format and tried to get set up, and wasn't sure the microphone was working. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but can somebody give me a thumbs up on the microphone working or not? Okay, looks like I got a thumbs up. Looks like the microphone's working good. Great. They changed it around, and I usually get an audio indicator that shows whenever I speak, it comes up, but it wasn't coming in. But anyway, it sounds good. All right, like I said, this is the Ask Stan Show. You can come on and ask me any questions you want. If you want to sign on, ask me any questions. Meanwhile, I'll probably talk about some stuff that has come in throughout the week. One thing I want to make you aware of, if you're not, I'm doing one of my live webinars June the 23rd, which is Tuesday. I'm doing it twice, like I always do, one at 12 noon, one at 6 p.m. And the title of this is the How Not to Go Broke in Long-Term Healthcare. What we're going to talk about at that webinar is asset protection, okay? Like I tell people in the webinar, and I tell people all the time, the most common question I ever get asked, practically on a daily basis, is how do I keep the nursing home from getting all my stuff? And as long as I'm on that topic, I want to review something. I want to go over something and make something clear. Because I was talking to somebody who was on Facebook, and they brought up the issue and the question. They said, "Hey, nursing home folks, give a high level of care, and people are pretty well taken care of when they're on at the nursing home, and they shouldn't be expected to do that service for free." Okay, and I want to make sure everybody's on the same page and understand this. So when I title my seminar, How Not to Go Broke in Long-Term Health Care, I'm not saying we're trying to get the nursing home not paid. What I'm addressing is being in long-term health care can make you go broke. The nursing home is going to get paid, and here's how. If you go into the nursing home and you don't qualify for Medicaid, then you're going to have to pay the nursing home privately. You're going to pay, and you're going to pay, and you're going to pay until you can't pay anymore. Once you can't pay anymore, the nursing home will then get you qualified for Medicaid, and Medicaid will pay the nursing home. So the nursing home is getting paid for their services, and they should be. Okay, I don't. If you misinterpreted that, they should be paid. As a matter of fact, if they don't get paid, why would they do it, and who would blame them for not doing it if they're not going to get compensated? So that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about now is, asset protection when Medicaid comes back around and tries to get reimbursed for their cost of care during life. That's what we're talking about, not the nursing home. The nursing home doesn't take anything from you. They don't come and take your property. They get paid. It's the Medicaid Recovery Act that comes around and are the ones that will exercise their right of recovery and affect judgment on your property to take it that way. So if that wasn't clear, hopefully it is now. Not beating up on any entity. I'd say the only disapproval I have with the nursing homes is when they qualify you for Medicaid, that's all they do is make sure you're qualified. And sometimes that effect can be disastrous because that has no planning or no asset protection to it, just pure qualifications. If you come to me at here at Perchowski Estate Law, that's exactly what we specialize in. We'll get you qualified too, or make sure you will qualify when the time comes. But we will protect, if we have enough time, 100% of your assets. So anyway, you don't have to worry about it. Then everything's creditor proof. Again, it's not going to, cheat the nursing home out of their fee. They're going to get paid no matter what. It's going to keep the creditor of Medicaid coming around and cashing in and taking everything you own for the cost of care. If you're unfortunate to have to deal with long-term care versus somebody who doesn't deal with long-term care that gets everything paid for by Medicare. So that's confusing. Come to the June 23rd webinar that I'm doing at 12 noon. I talk about the difference between Medicare and Medicaid, who pays for what and why. Then you'll understand it more. You'll understand the ethics of it. There's nothing unethical about it. You'll understand what we're talking about a little better. So if you're worried about losing everything, this is the thing for you to be at. So come on to that, and I'm hoping to go live with my seminars starting July. When I go live, I'm also going to offer live streaming. You know, if you're not comfortable coming out and coming to a crowd, I've got a perfect venue where we can place people a little bit more than 6 feet apart if you want to. So space is a little limited when we do that, but it should work out. But if you're still uncomfortable coming out and getting in public, by all means, I'll offer it live streamed as well. So, you know, best of all worlds. So, anyway, all right. If you have any questions posted. And, question I want to deal with is, I had a client that's got some folks, or got a family member, a senior, living in the home, and they're taking care of them. And they've been doing so for a couple of years, I guess, and what's happening is now they're needing more and more care. You know, when you talk about care, we talk about these things that they call ADLs. It stands for activities of daily life. You know, we're talking about bathing, eating, cooking, dressing, ambulatory, getting around, stuff like that. If you need help with just one or two of those, you know, people help their folks out home. As you need more and more care, it requires more and more of your time. And so what the question was, what about assisted living? So it's kind of like, what's assisted living versus the nursing home, and which one is better? So let me talk about that a little bit in the time that we have. And here's the way it works. Assisted living is not really, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not really a it's not really a healthcare facility. I've got some notes on the screen, but it's not really a healthcare facility because they're not required to have doctors and nurses on staff. Although in my experience, the ones around here do have at least a nurse on staff, and certain other folks, medical professionals, certainly for things like dietary needs and stuff like that. So they usually have folks, but they're not required to. Tennessee has what they call Tennessee adult daycare, and that's exactly what it is. A place where you can go during the day for certain hours. A lot of your needs can be taken care of. So if you're taking care of folks at home, you can take advantage of that, and they have a lot of amenities and activities and places they can take them that they can go and things that they can do. However, if you need more care, like, you know, classic examples is Alzheimer's, where you need more higher level care, you need memory care. Those folks will need, you know, depending on the level of the dementia, will need help with their medications. If you need help with medications, you know, the nursing home is probably the place to be. If you need monitoring, you know, 24/7, you know, if the dementia is so advanced that you just have to worry about folks just wandering off, that sort of thing. You know, it's really a judgment call, what you think the level of care that is necessary. But the nursing home is definitely the place to be for those higher levels of care. Now, I want to talk about something that I think is real important, because it's kind of obvious. When I say assisted living versus nursing home, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, it's all circumstance driven. If you can take care of your loved one's needs, and maybe you just need a pair of helping hands, assisted living is the thing for you. I actually made a list of things. You know, if you think you just need a pair of helping hands and that would be helpful, assisted living's good. So are these other things. Help with meals being prepared. Maybe if they're not feeling safe in their home all alone, they have a little trouble getting dressed or getting around. Stuff like that. If they have to grab onto furniture for stability when they move around the house, they may need some help. So that's what assisted living's for. If it's more than that, you might want to consider the nursing home, because the nursing home is more of an advanced care, or more of around-the-clock care, more specialized care. If they need care if they help with their medications, that's going to require, you know, a registered nurse or somebody that's qualified. That kind of thing. Make sure that they get the right amount and they get it when they're supposed to. That sort of thing. So, you know, continuing monitoring that. But what I want to talk about in comparing the two is the cost. Assisted living comes at a pretty steep price tag. It's a little cheaper than nursing home, but still pretty costly. You know, anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 a month. And you know, you can get some Medicaid to pay for that, as well as a nursing home. Nursing home, though, is much more. It's $6,000 to $8,000 a month here in Tennessee. Now, right off the bat, that price tag sounds like nursing home is more expensive, right? Well, you know, if you come to someone like me who's a trained professional that does this kind of planning, the answer is no. There can actually be circumstances, a lot of circumstances, where the nursing home would actually be less expensive. Okay, so the first thing you say is, how can that be, Stan? Assisted living's $4,000 to $6,000 a month, and depending on what we have, what the assistance is, and nursing home is $6,000 to $8,000 a month. How can it be cheaper? Well, if you come to me and we can do this asset protection planning like I'm talking about, or what I'll be doing at my June 23rd webinar, we can get your assets into certain asset protection trusts. We can get them cleared for Medicaid and get these folks qualified just as soon as possible for Medicaid. And so they can get everything paid for by Medicaid in the nursing home, protect all the property that they have, because we now put that in the exempt or non-countable assets, and we creditor proof them so that the Medicaid Recovery Act can come back around and take them. So really, you can see right off the bat that that's considerably less expensive to the individual, both the institutionalized person as well as the family that's taking care of it. It's tons cheaper because Medicaid's paying it, and Medicaid should pay it. I mean, if people ask, how does Medicaid get paid for? Well, just take a look at one of your paychecks, and one of the biggest deductions on there is going to be Medicaid or TennCare here in Tennessee. But your tax dollars are paying for that. You're entitled. It's an entitlement. You're entitled to that. It's not a welfare or a welfare system. So what we do is we can structure that, but we got to plan for it. This is what I meant when I said the nursing home will get you qualified for Medicaid, but they won't give you any asset planning for you. They won't do that. They just get you qualified so the nursing home will get paid. I mean, it's all about getting paid as far as they're concerned. And but what we want to do here is we want to protect your assets so that you don't get cleaned out because you're unfortunate enough to get long-term care. So it actually can turn out that the nursing home is cheaper than the assisted living, and you're getting more and more care than the assisted living. But again, it really determines what you want for the loved ones, what level of care you want. So if that's not real clear, come to the webinar. Maybe it'll clear it up a little more. If not, give me a call. We can talk about it. Tell me what your circumstances are, and we'll discuss them and see what's best, because not everything is the same for everybody else. Let's see. Looking for questions. Not seeing one. Okay, well, I usually like to keep this to 10 minutes. It's actually been 11 or 12, so how time flies when you're having fun, right? So this is the Ask Stan Show every Thursday at 12 noon. Today is Thursday, June the 18th. This will be posted on my Facebook page. You can go watch it later if you want. Also, don't forget my seminar that's coming up June 23rd. That's Tuesday. This is Thursday. That's coming up right here in just a few days. So two presentations. I'll be doing them live, one at 12 noon, one at 6 p.m. How not to go broke in long-term care. Listen, you'd be surprised at what we can do. I want to throw this offer out for you too. I've been putting this out on Facebook. If you haven't seen it, take advantage of it, because it's something I'm doing for you that I'm throwing in the mix for you. I'm going to do this as a service. Get a hold of me, apply on Facebook, or email me or call me and ask for my property protection checklist. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run an analysis. I don't need, it's barely one sheet of paper. I just need to know some personal circumstances, some numbers, and you tell me some of these assets that you have. I will do an analysis, and I'll generate an analysis that tells you what I can protect, when I can protect it, and I'll even generate a timeline where we can show exactly how long it would be and when we can start protecting more and more every single month. And when you see it on a timeline, you will be absolutely amazed at what we can do. I mean, it's a real eye-opener, so take advantage of it. Give me a holler, get the property protection checklist. It's sort of like what I call my Medicaid qualification analysis, but that's too technical a term. So just ask for my checklist, and I'll run that for you. Then preferably before Tuesday when you come to the seminar. Then when you're sitting in on the seminar, a lot of this stuff might make a lot of sense to you. But you'll be surprised. I can typically protect 100% of your assets if we have enough, if we plan in time for it. Sometimes in crisis planning, we can even protect 100%. It's just a different type of planning and different things we can do. But don't blow that off. There's lots we can do. Take advantage of it. Give me a holler. Get the checklist. Let me work the numbers for you. More than happy to do it, to let you know what we can do. Once you see what we can do, you'll be setting up an appointment. Trust me. So anyway, Thanks for attending, and I will see you next Thursday at the Ask Stan show at 12 o'clock. See ya.